How to create this help file? How to create this help file? Very simple. Scoop import hyphen help greater than, and you give what are the path wherever you want to keep. You want to keep it in desktop, you can keep it in desktop. You want to keep it in somewhere, you can keep it home, Hadoop one, desktop, scoop import .txt. You can keep it wherever you want. So the import file will be created, that help file will be created in the desktop. You can see here. Scoop import file has been created. You can open the file. You can see the commands. So these we have seen already. So come a connection, and you are giving your help password -p. You can give capital P. You can give password, right? You can give a password file. You can give password alias. So you can give some of the commands from this. And coming to import specific commands, first one is append. Okay, let's try to look at what is the append. And before that, I'm going to import some data. I'm going to import some data. Let's look at here. For that, we need to have a data. So we have done that, right? We already have a data, right? We already have a data. Yes or no? Do you guys have a data or not? Data ready or not? If you see show tables, you already have this kind of tables, no? We have created DB2 yesterday, if you guys remember. So if you see the show tables here, you have a data, right? You have data, right? So what happened? Scoop, sqoop. What happened? Select star from scoop test. So case sensitive. How come? Table names are case sensitive. Okay. Okay. Now look at guys here. So I want to import some data from customers. I want to import the data from customers. Look at here. What are the data is there? So these many records are there. 12,000 records are there. I want to import all these 12,000 records into HDFS, from RDBMS to HDFS. From RDBMS to HDFS. What we will do? We'll write a query. What is the query, guys? Can anyone tell me? Anisha, can you tell me the query to import the data? Yesterday we have used the query, right?
Import command. Scoop import.
Okay.
Yeah, hyphen connect, then hyphen username.
Tell me.
Hyphen password. Then we have to give the location.
Hyphen table name. Okay. So guys, this is the, if I press enter, it will start import the data. Okay, it will start import the data. To where it will go and import? Which location? The default location. What is the default location of the scoop? What is the default location of the scope? Is already telling the data is the directories already exist. Look at here. The default location here is your user. Yesterday also we have seen the same. User Hadoop 1. User and your username. So let's say in your case user and Sachin. In your case like user and Isha. Like user and whatever the username you have given for your machine. Whatever the username you have given for your machine, that will be your user. So in this, the directories already exist. Customers already exist. Now how can I import by deleting this? It's a department. Let's go back. For customers, how can I import by deleting this data? By deleting this data, how can I do that? So what you can do, you have an option called, you can specify this command. What will happen if the directories already exist? Delete it and recreate it. Please make a note of all options, guys. These are really important. Okay, so if you can see in your document, a help document, you have something called, these are all I'll tell you what are they. So what is Auro file, what is sequence file, I'll show you now itself. Okay, so let's see. We know what is a boundary query. What is a boundary query? What is a boundary query? Delete hyphen target dir. So if the directory is already exists, it will delete it and it will just import it. Let's go ahead and see. It's launching a MapReduce job. Total 12,000 records are there, and the 12,000 records, 4 splits, 4 mappers are getting launched. And if you see the boundary query here, if you see the boundary query here, the boundary query is, so boundary query I'm finding in the customer ID, minimum value and a maximum value, and I'm starting importing the data in this. Good, it's downloaded. You go and check in your HDFS, refresh. You can check the date. You can check the date. You can see my date as well. You can see. So first go and see some part of the values will be there. Some records will be there. Okay, 1 to 1 to 437 records are there in this. And see part 2 file. It has some records of files in this. And see part 3 file, map 3. It has some records. And see this. It has some files. So how it has been divided? How it has been divided? So what happened here? Let me explain one more time. What happened here? In your MySQL table or an RDBMS table, you have a data, and it has the customer ID. If you see here, if you see the customer ID is the primary key. So how will I know it's a primary key or not? Describe. So look at here, your customer ID is a primary key. Your customer ID is a primary key in the table. So now what Sqoop will do, as we discussed yesterday, Sqoop will go and talk to the customer table, so metadata, and will try to understand which column is the primary key, and it will find the minimum value in it, and it will find the maximum value in it. It will find the minimum value in it and maximum value in it. Why I need to have a minimum value and maximum value? Look at guys here. Now because it has to launch parallel copy. It has to launch parallel copies. By default, how many copies? How many mappers? Default, how many mappers?
4 mappers.
Default is 4 mappers. Now I need to launch 4 mappers. No, how will I launch 4 mappers? Let's say I'm just taking simple example. 1, 2, 3, 4, 10. Now I have a 10 records. Now the 10 records has to be shared by 4 mappers. This 10 records has to share by 4 mappers. How they will share? It has to share by 4 mappers. Let's say mapper 1, mapper 2, mapper 3, mapper 4. So mapper 1 has to process what are the records, mapper 2 has to process what are the records, mapper 3 has to process what are the records, and mapper 4 has to process what are the records. What are the records? How it will understand? So what it will do, it will find the minimum value and will find the maximum value. That's called boundary query. In the maximum value 10, 10 by 4, it means 2.5 record. So 2.5 record will not come, right? 2 records, 2 records, 2 records, 6 records. I mean 2 records, it will take, like, say, let's say here 2 records are came, the next will be 3 records, next will be 3 records, next will be 2 records. Like that it will share the, it will identify internally, okay, that it will adjust internally. Okay, what it will do, it will make sure that first 2 records will go to one mapper, other 3 records will go to another mapper, another 3 records will go to another mapper, another 2 records will go to other mapper. How it will make sure? Because it found the maximum value, it found the maximum value, it found the minimum value. Okay, minimum value starting, oh, I need to start from here. Maximum value is this. Let's say, let me put it the other way. I have 100 records, 2 to 100 by divided by 4, it means 25. So whatever the records comes under 25 range, from the 2, from 2, from number 2, 2 to 25, whatever the records will come in this range will go to mapper 1. 26 to 50 range, whatever the numbers, whatever the records will come, these are not record count, it is a value count, right? This is the value 2, 3, 4, 5, that value, it's not the records. Okay, mapper 2, 51 to 75, mapper 3, 76 to 100, mapper 4. So whatever the values falls under this range, whatever the values falls under this range, those records will go into respective mappers. This is how it will share. This is how it will share the, this is how it will share the your primary key. If I don't have a primary key, what I need to do? If you don't have a primary key, only one option, what you need to do? Either you need to specify number of mappers equal to 1, or you need to specify split by column. Try to understand what is a split by column. Split by column is the most important, uh, most important for the interview purpose. What is a split by column? Let's say in my table I do not have a primary key. I do not have a primary key, but I want to launch a parallel processing. How it is possible? You don't have a primary key, but you want to launch a parallel process. So how will I do that? So we will do such a way that what we will do, when you are going for import command, whenever you go for import command, it means you already know about your data, which is there in HDFS. Sorry, which is there in RDBMS. Without knowing the data, I cannot go for import, right? So I should know what I'm importing. What is there in the table? What is the table format? I mean, what are the table values? I should know, right? What is the table name and all? Without knowing, how will you go? Without knowing your table name, without knowing your database name, you cannot go and import. So first what we will do, we will try to understand the table data. And we will try to look at, is there any column which has a unique column, which is maintaining some unique values. It's maintaining unique values. Then that column we will specify here. ID, name, salary, department. Let's say ID. Okay, ID is getting the some independent or individual records. Some unique values are there. So I'll specify ID here. My split by column is ID. When I specify split by column is ID, then it will take a minimum and it will take the maximum, and number of values will be number of map. It will find the number of mappers and range. It will start import. So if you don't want to do parallel, then you have to go to -1. Only one mapper has to launch. The whole data has to process by single mapper. Understand? Now from import, as I said, import has so many options. It has given, it's come up with so many options. One is the append. What is this append? what is this append will do? Let's say here, if I execute this query, so because I'm executing hyphen hyphen delete target directory, it will again, when I press enter, what will happen? It will delete the existing directory, it will recreate. Look at, observe guys, this one. You can observe by the time, okay? 121. So 129 is my time now. In my screen, 01:214546 it is running. So now if I go refresh, no, actually the table has been removed now. So it's getting recreate. Actually, it's the command is still executing. Okay. If the data exists, it will remove them and it will recreate. Yep, this is done. Now look at here. It's recreated all the files. Okay, but I want to append the data to this. I want to append to the data to this. If I execute one more time, it will delete and recreate. So if I say append, what will happen? Let's see what it is telling. What it is telling? Append and delete cannot be used together. Delete is telling that if you exist, delete. Append it is telling no, you be there only. I will append the data. Since those are both are conflicting, right? Both are conflicting, right? So delete target directory is telling that I will delete if the data exists. Append is telling that no, I will append to the data to existing data only. I'll append to the existing data only. So it is a conflict, right? That's the reason we should not use both together. Let's remove this option. Then try this. In this case, what will happen? In this case, it will import the data. Again, it will import the data and append to this directory. It means now 4 directories are there. I mean, 4 files are there, 4 part files. It will add another 4 more part files here. It will add some 4 more part files here. Are you guys able to follow? Are you guys, understand what I'm trying to explain? Sai, Saraswati, Venkat, Nikesh, Kishore, Sachin.
Yes, Ravi.
So by default, it will store as a text file. By default, it will store as a text file.
Veera, um,
Hmm,
Veera, I have
yeah,
a doubt.
hmm,
So after that command, append command, so there will be total 8 part files.
correct.
Okay, but we are seeing only 4 files there, right? Or is it because you deleted?
No,
Okay, okay.
it was not refreshed. Okay. Now we go on to
Oh,
here.
okay, okay. Thank you.
The data is a comma separated. Whatever the data was there in the table, when it comes to HDFS, by default it's a comma separated. You can change the delimiter. Okay. You can change the delimiter. Okay. Now let's go back to our options. By default, it will store as a text file. By default, it is stored as a text file. If you want to store as a Auro file, or you want to store as a Parquet file, or you want to store as a sequence file, you can do it by specifying I will use this and I will use as Auro file. Let me see the spelling. I don't want to do Auro data file, Parquet file, Auro data file. Now it will delete that existing data and it will recreate with the Auro file format. It's done. It is downloaded. Let's go and see what is happened inside. .avro files. Date. The files are looking different, but this one is a schema information. The very first part, whatever you are seeing here, is a schema information. The schema information in the Auro file format, the schema will store in the JSON object. The schema will store in the JSON object. Rest of the data will store in the binary format. So this is schema. Schema means, what is a schema? Let's look at here. Customer ID is the column name. Type is what type of it is, and why type is not showing here. It will type also it will show, and this is another column name, this is another column name, password, this is another column name. So these are the schema, and this is the table name is a customer, this is the table name is customer, it is a SQL type, and it is the default column null, and column name is this, column name is this. So these are the, yeah, here it is there, no, actually these are mixed integer, default null. Wait, let me show you the next, 1 second guys, I'll show you here. Yep, this is the schema. Look at here. This started from here. Started from here. Name. So you need to divide like this. Name. Yep. So here see, type int null, default is null, and column name is this. SQL type is 4. Okay. So this is schema information. If you load into if you load into Auro file into HDFS. If it is a Auro file, how will I see? I want to see the content of this. How can I see the content of this? Can anyone tell me? I want to view the content in normal format. This content I want to see normal format. How will I see? Can I do cat command here? It's also showing in our format. Anyway, cat command also will not work. Cat command also will not work here. See, cat command also show in this format. Okay, so this is how if you want to store the data in our format, we will store into our format. This is how you will store the data into our file format. If you want to Parquet file format, very simple. You can say hyphen Parquet file, hyphen Parquet file as hyphen as a Parquet file. Let's try that as well. Parquet file. What it'll do? It'll remove the existing Auro file format and it'll create it. Sir, every time I'm creating an existing path only, default path, can I give my own path? Yes, you can give your own path. That is called hyphen hyphen target directory. Hyphen hyphen target dir. It will come down. You have something called hyphen hyphen target dir. You can give your own directory to import the data. You can give your own directory to import the data. That's called target directory. So target directory means if you observe here, your customers is what? It's a table name. It's a table name. So I don't want to give the default location, sir. I want to give my own location with my own name. How will I do that? You will do that by using target dir. You can do that by using target dir. Let's see that. I think this is running. Let it finish. We will see target directory. So very simple, guys. Target directory is very simple. Okay. You just need to specify what is the where you want to specify the location. This is dot parquet file. That is dot parquet file. So open the parquet file. It is in this format. It's in this format. So let's see. Sorry, guys. It also has the schema information at the bottom. Okay. Now the rest of the commands you guys explore. Okay, how sequence file and all, but I'll be showing you very important things. Okay, text file anyway, it's by default is a text file, and boundary query we have seen what is the minimum value, maximum value, it's fine. And columns, so I don't want to fetch all the columns. I want to fetch only specific column. I don't want all these columns. I want to only ID, name, email address. ID, name and email address. How will I import that? These are all pretty simple, guys. Okay, what I will do, columns space. So what are the columns you want? ID, ID, comma, ID, comma, name, comma, ID, comma, name, comma, want, email or zip code, whatever it is you can take. Let me take email. Okay, only these three columns will be loaded. So let me take okay, let me take, this is a little bigger table. It's taking quite a long time to import. Okay, and also another option is I want to import only whose salary or some kind of where condition, whose ID is greater than 100, whose ID is less than 100. That's such kind of things I can do. So how will I do? By using where class. By using where class. Hyphen hyphen where salary are greater than equal to this, or my name, I mean you can say ID is less greater than this. Some condition you can put it here. Some condition you can put by using where class. Where I need to put, you need to put into your import command only. Okay, that's another option. Let me show you the columns. Hyphen columns, you can specify the columns. Compression, so when you are loading the data, you want to compress by using specific compression format like a snappy compression, LZO compression, bzip2 compression, gzip compression. What are the compression you want to do by default, you can do with the compression. You can do with the compression. And delete target directory we just seen. And direct, it is importing direct. What does it mean? What does it mean, guys? So now sqoop is using its own import, and it's using its own mechanism for importing the MapReduce mechanism. It is internally using MapReduce. But if you are using data using MySQL or Oracle, from Oracle and MySQL, they have their own import tools. They have their own import tools. Yes or no? Do you guys remember dump kind of commands? Dump kind of commands. Let me go here. Let's see here. Only three columns I got. Employee ID, employee name, sorry, customer ID, customer name, and his email ID. His email ID XXXX only. Actually, he didn't give the employee ID properly. Email ID properly in the database itself is not there. It's XXX only. So now see only three columns instead of so many columns. It is getting only three columns. You can also say where class. Okay, you can also give where class in the condition. You can also give these are all you guys try, guys. So you guys can execute them. I think I need to put in single quote. Otherwise, it's not understand. Okay. So let's go back and try continue over this thing. And direct is, instead of using your sqoop import option, you can use MySQL or Oracle or any database specific import options. It will use internally. Okay. If I say hyphen hyphen direct, it will not import by using sqoop import option. It will import the respective database. Let's say I'm connecting to MySQL. MySQL import option will be make use. So let's see that as well. It's taking some time. You just need to specify hyphen hyphen direct. You just need to specify hyphen hyphen direct. And direct split size, you can specify what is the split size for each direct option. And this one we already seen yesterday. This one we already seen yesterday. Now also I'm going to show you this. Now let's go. Let's go here. Let's see. Within 100 only. 0 to 25. Let's see the last one. Only 100. More than that is not there. Till 100 because I have given a where class there. Okay. So here along with that I can use direct option. I can use direct option. I can use hyphen hyphen direct option. If you see your boundary query, guys, okay, because you have added where class, see the boundary query. See the boundary query. Min max from where, customer from where, this is boundary query. Okay, and let's go back. And you can see hyphen E is pretty simple one, or hyphen E or hyphen hyphen query, both are same. You have to specify the query. You can specify your own query inside the hyphen E or hyphen hyphen query. So it is imported 100 records. It's imported 100 records. 52 seconds. 1 second, guys. If you look at here, In the last import, this is current import. Okay, it has taken 52 seconds, right? This in the last import 56 seconds. The last import, it is 56 seconds. It's reduced because it is used the your I can say MySQL specific import command. Let's go back here, not here, in this. Go back here, go inside the customers, look at the data, same data because nothing it changes, and I can see here same data. Yes. So that's the other way. You can also specify I don't want to use this where class. Okay, I don't want to use this where class. Hyphen query. I want to use my own where class. Select already I have a columns here. From customers where customer ID less than 100, less than 100. Now look at guys here. So this guy, this command, look at here, look at here. This is giving some problem, right? Because you are specifying query and table both. You are specifying query and table both. Anyway, in your query you are writing a query. So why should you specify the query? And also columns also we don't need to specify. Anyway, in the query itself, I'm specifying all columns. What are the columns I want? Next. Okay. Now look at here still. It's specify the destination directory. It is asking me to specify the target directory. Target dir, target dir, target dir. I will give slash training 1 slash training 1 slash sqoop underscore query query. Let it be. Still you guys look at here. What is telling? When importing query results in the parallel, you must specify by hyphen parallel. So actually, what's happening here? You can specify your query hyphen query option, okay? But it is also expecting to specify hyphen split by column, split by column. But actually, what I need to give here, I need to give something called and dollar condition. I need to give dollar condition here. I need to give dollar condition. When I give dollar condition, it will work. It's giving from customers, customer ID less than 100 and conditions, it's a conditions. What is the conditions? What is the conditions will do? It will do, the conditions will do, now 4 mappers are right. Now 4 mappers. So let's say I'm doing some operation when I'm doing a four mappers and the same condition should apply in the 4 mappers. The 4 mapper should have the same condition. So here we are not using very big complicated logic or something. Suppose if I am doing a salary greater than 1000. So first 100 records you may have a greater than 1000, second 100 records also you may have 100, right? So the range will automatically apply in all the mappers. The range will apply in all the mappers. Let me show you this. Let us get execute. It is done. 1 second, guys. It is done. Let's go. Not this one. Every time I'm opening that only. Let's go here. Oh no, not this is the one. So we have changed our target directory. Slash training one. Go inside the training one. We have created sqoop underscore query. In that, we have created. See guys here, the data has been downloaded, including where class, including your hyphen query option. We are able to download the data. So the condition. So we have written something called condition, right? What is the condition will do? Actually, it replaces the condition with the different values in different mappers. How it will do? Actually, we have not done the. That's what, as I said. When you go for, like, say you want to find the range of keys. So let's say I want to get the IDs who is from the 0 to 1000. Okay. So in this case, what will happen? When I say 0 to 1000, what will happen? So the first mapper, it has to take some set of records, right? And second mapper also should take some set of records, right? So when I say 1000, so when I give a range, uh, mapper 1, I'm telling that you take the mapper 1 from 0 to 1000, and mapper 2, the mapper 2 will take range. So see, the same condition will apply in the mapper 2 also. That's what the value will be changed automatically. Let me show that example. So I mean, to show that example, let's say I'm taking some range. Okay, let me explain here. Let's say ID greater than 0 and ID greater than greater than 0 and less than 1000. Now this is my range. Now 4 mappers has to launch. So it has to it will replace the condition. What are the condition you have replied, right? Mapper 1 will take the condition such a way that 0 to 250. Now mapper 2 has to identify no condition. The mapper 2 has to identify the ID should be greater than 250 and less than 500. So who will specify this condition? Who will replace this condition? All the mappers. Mapper for that is done by your dollar condition. Your dollar conditions will take care of that. So first mapper will take this range, second mapper will take in this range, third mapper will take in this range. That will be specified by your dollar condition command. Okay. So let's go back with the other option. We have seen query, and you can fetch a specific size of amount of the data. You can size in number of bytes. So you can see here the statement set number of rows to fetch from the database. Okay. So you can also say that 10 records, 20 records, like that. Okay, and number of mappers, we already see this. So by default number of mappers are 4. You want to launch with only one mapper, you can also specify that by using hyphen hyphen number of mappers, or you can using by using hyphen m space 1. It means only one mapper. So in this case you don't need the customer split by column. You don't need the split by column in this case. Okay, you don't need the split by column, it's automatically takes it. But its target directories already exist, no, it will throw error. The target directories already exist, right? The target directories already exist, it'll throw an error, I think. It can't be. Okay, let me see another option. Merge key, split by column we have seen, table we have seen, target directory we have seen. Okay, these are all other options, you don't need to really worry about it. Warehouse directory, another important one. Warehouse directory. So whatever the directory you have specified as of now, see here I have specified query underscore scoop underscore query. It is actually customer table data has loaded into this. Customer table data is loaded into this. Before it was creating customer as a folder name and the part files. If you observe, slash user Hadoop 1, if you observe here, it was creating table name as a folder name. Table name as a folder name, then it is putting. When I use target directory, whatever the directory I have given, in that directory, the data is getting loaded. Now I want to load multiple directories like this. So I'll create a warehouse. So in the warehouse, let's say you're importing multiple tables. Let's say we're importing multiple tables by using import all tables. So let me execute this command. Let me execute import all command. So I don't need all these things. Let me remove all of them. I have used delete target directory. No, that's why it's not thrown any error. Okay, don't surprise it didn't throw. Hyphen delete option already I have used. That's the reason it didn't. Okay. Connect username, password, everything is there. And database name also I have given. Now I'm giving warehouse directory. I'm importing all the tables, guys. I'm importing all the tables. From where? The specified database. From the specified database. From retail underscore db2. Look at here. It is launching table by table. Boundary. Now it is launching categories in a alphabetical order. It will download in alphabetical order. It will download alphabetical order. It's downloading. It has to download all of them. So one by one it'll create. See here, table by table it is downloading. Departments. Now it started with the department. It's loading. Because it has the six tables, right? Six including the our table also. It has multiple tables, right? So it will be downloading all of them. It will be downloading all of them. So now even though here, if you go and see in your HDFS, so now it is creating multiple directories because you have used warehouse as a option, warehouse dir as an option. What it is doing inside that one directory, it is started creating multiple directories. It is a little slow actually. It is running, right? So it is occupied somewhere. So scoop warehouse, look at here, it's categories, customer, departments. So it is started downloading some of them. Okay, so you can see categories will have a category directory, and we have if you go and see departments will have their own data. So the rest of things also will be there in this. So once the job is completed, everything will be created in this. Any doubts still here? Any doubt till here? And this is the compression. When you are going for a compression, when you want to compression like LZO snappy, and you have to specify which compression technique you are using, hyphen z or hyphen compress, hyphen compress. And check column and all we'll see in the next class. This is called incremental import. This is the most important topic in the scope and most important for interview as well. So most important for interview as well. So we'll be talking about incremental import and export. I'll leave to you guys. So export you can easily do it. Okay, and also I'm also leaving this hive. So while importing the data from scoop, you can also create a scoop table directly. You can directly import into scoop table. You can directly import into scoop table. So these are the options. Scoop database, scoop delimiter replacement. Okay, and you can specify the scoop import and hive overwrite, partition by, partition value, hive table, map columns, everything you can do it. Okay, so HBase part we'll take it later. Now, anyway, HBase is not yet covered, right? So these things, these things. So Hive and all, you guys can easily do it. Okay, so what I will do, I will explain the compression and all. I will apply this incremental import. In export also there is one more mode. I'll explain that as well. That's also most important for interview. So these two things I will cover, and the rest of the things you guys try it yourself. Okay, and try yourself. If you find any difficulty by executing create Hive table database, this kind of thing, please let me know. I will help on that. Okay, so that's it for today, guys. So have a great day. And yes, scoop test is not downloaded. Look at here, you have a scoop test table here, but scoop test is not downloaded. Look at the error here. Error, well, during import no primary key could found for table scoop test. Please specify one of the split by column or perform a sequential import by using -m1. So the scoop test does not have a primary key. It is not able to import, and you have to specify either split by column or you have to specify -m. Okay, so that's it, guys. That's it for today. So let's discuss in the next class. And thanks for your time. Have a great day.